Well, Uncle Terry, we're building ourselves a 351 Windsor.
Yes, sir.
We're going to do it on a budget,
Budget.
right?
Budget.
We both agree.
Look at budget.
We're doing this on a budget. If you haven't been paying attention, I did just recently tear down the intake manifold situation on my 351 junkyard motor, and it looks pretty good
It doesn't look bad at all.
as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
There's no coking.
Right.
It's discoloring, but no
The valve
coking.
cover's off, and the valve cover, I mean, it looked clean underneath. You could see all the rock arms, which is a big plus.
Yes.
And they all moved, big plus. And they weren't any of them loose, big plus.
Yes. At least on that side. I didn't take off the other side
Yeah,
yet.
didn't take off the other side. But if that side looked that good, I'm sure the other side looked that good.
Right.
So it's like we said, if it's at a work van, they probably maintain their work van pretty well.
Right.
And evidently they did. So like I said, next thing, pull the oil pan, pull the main, one furthest from the oil pump.
Right.
Pull the main cap and pull the rod cap. And if they're both still gray, I'd stick a gasket oil pan back on it. Don't take the heads off.
Okay. That was where I was going with this.
Don't break the seal on the heads.
So you're saying
Put it
no,
together.
don't pull that gasket. Don't do anything
No,
with
I
it.
wouldn't do anything.
Don't touch the
you can
piston ring
see-
gap. Nothing.
You can see that it wasn't leaking water anymore. I mean, because if it was leaking, it'd be in the valley. Nothing in the valley. There wasn't no water in the valley. There was no water in. You pulled plugs, right?
Nope. Have not
And
pulled the
pulled
plugs.
plugs yet?
Have not even drained the
Okay.
oil out of the motor.
Okay. I would say there, if water was going to be somewhere, if motor was it sitting inside or outside?
In a lean-to, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Look at this.
So, but it's been sealed. I mean, it had the whole intake system
That's what I'm
on it.
saying. So it hadn't had a chance to get water.
It hadn't been
in it.
rained in.
Yeah, it hadn't been rained in. So I pull the plug, see if none if one's rusty, then I'd investigate that cylinder. But all the rest, I wouldn't worry about it.
Okay.
I wouldn't break the seal on the heads. Once you start yanking stuff apart, then one thing leads to another. And
Yes.
that leads to another, leads to another. I'd keep it sealed. We got a good intake coming.
Yes.
We got good carburetor. We got a good camshaft for it. I mean, like I said, going in, this should be, you should be able to get 75, 80 horsepower out of what we're talking about.
Oh, I think so.
Easily.
I think we've got probably a reasonable shot at a 300 horse plus motor.
Yeah, easy. Yeah, I would say that easy, especially. And then you got nitrous involved, so.
Right.
And now we got a 390 horsepower.
Yeah. So I put up a poll on. If you're not, by the way, paying attention to that, if you get onto my YouTube channel and you go to your different things, you got shorts and videos and playlists, and if you go to posts, you can actually see the things that I can post. It's kind of sort of like a Facebooky kind of thing, but it's a way that we can communicate easier, and I can ask questions of you guys, not just actually making a video. So I do put up polls that are on there so I can actually get your feedback on what you think I should do here. And at least last I looked, predominantly it was, it's in pretty damn good shape, leave it alone,
Right.
replace what you need to replace, bolt it together,
Right.
and let's rock and roll.
And more people lean towards the old school, the carburetor issue
Yes.
than they did the fuel injection issue.
Yes.
Which, that's
It was,
fine.
I actually got more EFI stuff than I thought I was going to get.
Yeah,
I thought almost everybody's going to say
That
carburetor.
surprised me too, but I think a lot of people were interested in that direct port injection
Yeah.
ACES unit, which is a great unit. by the way.
Which
It's an
honestly is
awesome-
also something I may do in the future
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, it's
just
an
to
awesome
have it.
piece. It's a great piece. But that takes up 3/4 of the budget,
Correct.
that by itself.
Correct.
Not including everything else. This, with the carburetor and intake manifold, of course, get to put a little better camshaft in it, get to put a complete nitrous kit on it, and don't have to worry about any of that stuff. And then we've got room for anything else that just happens to happen. So
I did see a question about springs. Do we want to do spring upgrades on this thing? Since we are going to do rockers and a camshaft, are we going to do springs?
With the camshaft that we got, you really wouldn't need to do a spring upgrade. If the motor truly has 144,000 miles on it, which it probably does,
It
as
looks
clean
like
as
it.
it is, I wouldn't worry about putting the springs on it. You wouldn't have to.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we're not going to the point where we need to do springs on it. We are doing roller rockers, a full set of roller rockers.
Right.
We are doing carbureted setup with an intake manifold. Camshaft is here already.
Sure.
We already pre-ordered that.
And it's basically the same as a
like an F.
Yeah, like an F303. It's a it's like the same camshaft that came in a 94, 95 Cobra Mustang. It's 512 lift.
Okay, so like the Cobra R's.
Yeah, not like Cobra R's, but the 94, 90. Yeah, like a Cobra R.
Yeah.
Yeah, 351.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's that camshaft.
Okay.
So it'll have a pretty good amount of chop to it. Plus, it'll have pretty good amount of power to it.
And still be perfectly drivable.
Oh, easily drivable. Yeah, won't affect your air conditioning. Won't affect your power brakes. Because it's not enough duration to do that. Because it can't be a whole lot of duration. Because those cars, of course, were all fuel injected.
Right.
And so it will run a whole lot better low end, and all your back end is still high. So all your doors still work, all your AC still works. You don't have to worry about
gotta
brakes.
have AC.
Yeah, you gotta have brakes too.
Yeah.
So,
also gotta have brakes.
Yeah. So I mean, it's perfect. It's a perfect camshaft for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
And it'll move that 5,200 pound car decently.
decently, and it'll sound good while doing it.
Yeah.
That's the
It'll
plan.
sound good while doing it. It'll get the looks. I guarantee you that.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. And I've said this before on other videos. That car is actually really fun to drive as it is.
Sure.
And it makes hilariously little power. We probably actually are going to get it on the dyno next week, just to be able to set a baseline and see what it makes where it is now, and then use that as our kind of this is where we're starting from. But it's genuinely pretty fun to drive. With a 5-speed in it makes a whole lot of difference for sure. Yeah. Plus, it's already got shorty headers on it. It's already got an H-pipe on it, and it's already got Flowmasters on it. So it already sounds very Mustang-ish.
Yeah.
For those of you who are curious, if you haven't watched other previous videos, the reason we are doing this 351 Windsor upgrade is because the 302 that's in it, while it is a 302 Ford, is not necessarily the same thing as the 302 HO, which was out of a Mustang.
Right. It's about 80 horsepower shy of being a
Yes. Significant difference.
Mustang, yes.
Significant difference. And while, yes, we could be spending the money to do the upgrades in that 302, with the amount of money I'm going to ultimately have in the 351, it just makes more sense. Also, it's kind of, in my world, what we would call OEM plus,
Right.
where I'm not putting something that's not completely, I'm basically just doing the best stuff that was available in that generation or in that kind of a vehicle. Because they made the, what is it, P72 police interceptor package that came with a 351 Windsor in it. Now, obviously, it didn't come with a 5-speed, but the 351 Windsor swap makes a ton of sense because it's going to make it an interesting vehicle. So,
Well, it's more horsepower starting off. I mean, you put it together like this. I mean, the engine that's in that car is 160 horsepower. Is what it's rated as, is 160 horsepower. That 351 is rated at 220 horsepower. So 5 horsepower less than what the 302 HOs are, but it's a 351.
right,
So got more torque
right.
going in.
Which is important for a big car.
Really important for a big car. Torque is what moves. And you're starting off with more cubic inches to start with. So everything you add onto it, just like a 302, everything you add onto it makes more horsepower.
Right.
So
And it's kind of the same thing in the Pontiac world, where essentially all my same costs, small block Ford to small block Ford, are basically the same thing.
Right.
I'm putting essentially the same thing
exactly.
into a 302 versus a 351. Why not start with more inches?
Exactly.
A couple more inches is always a better idea.
That's what she said.
But a lot of people have also pointed out my trick with what I'm doing with the Pontiac, where I went after my free horsepower, pulling the heads and doing a little head work in there to be able to free up some extra airflow. Not worth it? Worth it. 'Cause
Well,
that means I got to put head gaskets
The
on.
way the way I look at it is on a Pontiac. I mean, you only get 3 horsepower, but I bet you get 10 pounds of torque.
Right.
So
As far as free horsepower goes,
Yeah.
it's just my time. I'm going to sit there on the bench and
Right.
grinding away on that thing,
Right.
cleaning up the ports
that's
or
what I'm
whatever.
saying. Anytime you can pick up torque, if you can make up 10 pounds of torque,
Yeah.
it's a great day in America.
Right.
So I mean, that's like I said, that's what moves things. The horsepower difference is negligible, but it also frees it makes everything work better, smoother, And so even if it only makes this certain amount of horsepower, it cleaned everything else up. It made it where you added 3 horsepower by gasket match on the heads.
Yeah.
Basically.
And cleaning up the flashing and stuff.
Cleaning up the flashing port. So now instead of having all this rough shit going down that port, now it's nice and smooth.
Yeah.
Flows better. Anytime you can get fuel distribution better. Greater fuel distribution, is you're going to make more horsepower.
Right.
In the long run, it's always going to help you.
On the Ford side of things, because this is technically my very first small block Ford for me.
Right.
Those heads are going to flow enough to be able to take advantage of the camshaft and carburetor and intake that we're going to put on there. Because, like, for instance, if you haven't watched this probably most recent video that I put out, where I'm flow testing the small block Chevy heads, and then I also did one where I'm flow testing the Pontiac heads. Those cast iron old school heads from way back in yonder still flow the Pontiac ones I think flowed 180 or something like that at max lift, and then the small block Chevy heads from you guys flowed 240 or so. You're capping out at 360 horsepower, 370 horsepower, or 480 horsepower.
Right.
There's enough airflow there to be able to. We're not going to get there.
Right.
That's not going to be our restriction as far as the power production of that motor. I guess that's the short one.
Not at all. Not at all.
That's not my choke point.
Engine's a big air pump. The more air you get in, the more air you get out, the more horsepower you make. I mean, and that's basically the case. Those heads, the 351 heads, have a bigger port on them than a 302 head because it's a bigger motor. And the exhaust port's actually a little bigger too. Those are the F3, F4, the F4 heads, and it's very similar to the E7 heads, like an 87 and later 302 head.
Okay.
So it's a better head. It's a lot better than the earlier heads. It's a much better head than the
ones that are on the
302.
Yeah.
It's night and day difference.
The other thing would be, and this is a viable conversation, is we're doing this on a budget. I bought the car for $2,800, which means we have $2,200 to spend on upgrades to make it cool, to make it make sense for my budget cool car challenge. See if I can build something cool, buy and build something cool for $5,000 or less. So we only have $2,200 to spend. At this phase, I will be able to have, I think we can make this all work for $2,200. We've spec'd it all out. We've ordered our pieces and parts. We basically got ready to rock and roll.
Yeah.
As long as I verify that the rest of the motor is fine.
Right.
But I know me, and I'm probably not going to be satisfied with just leaving it alone as a budget 351.
Right.
There's a not terrible chance that I end up building a big, bad, nasty small block Ford that I could also put in this thing. Because I'm not sure exactly which one of you mentioned this in one of the previous comment sections, but good job, Terry, on putting the bug in his ear about the 427 is appealing.
Yeah.
You can do a lot of things for these things on a pretty reasonable budget.
Yeah.
Even a 427 with aluminum heads is not crazy expensive.
No, it's not crazy expensive at all. I mean, you can take basically that Ford 427 that they offered as a crate motor, which is based on a 351 Windsor.
Right.
I mean, that motor was all out. It was a 620 horsepower motor, and it was less than $10,000.
Right.
Back in the day, and you can build one if you have all the stuff to do it. What you'll have when we get done with this motor is, I mean, if you took that motor as we build it, take those heads off, put a set of Trick Flow 195, not Trick Flow, but the Brodix heads, the Brodix 195s or the Promax 195s, runner heads, you'll pick up close to, but just changing the heads, close to 80, 90 horsepower, just by changing the cylinder heads.
And what a set of those run?
$1,000.
Right. So unlike with my Pontiac,
Yeah.
where a set of aluminum heads for a fully assembled set of You're starting at $3,000 and you're going up from there.
Yeah.
Versus being able to do it for a small block
Right.
Ford is a lot less expensive.
All right, this guy's got built him a 393 Windsor motor, put in a 69 Mach 1, and I sold him a set of those heads the other day, and he loves them. I mean, he said he took a set of cast iron ones off. He built the 393 and then put a hogged out set of 6970 cast iron heads on it, and wasn't satisfied, and I don't blame him, I wouldn't be satisfied either. Especially and no kidding, these heads were $1,160 with tax. Picked that motor up almost 80, 90 horsepower. I don't remember what it was, because he dyed it.
That's a significant amount.
That's a significant amount of horsepower. Plus, took 45 pounds off the weight off the front of the car.
Right.
So.
And allows you to run better compression and helps the motor run cooler.
Right.
So, and I think that's probably where the next. The aluminum head thing makes sense to me.
Sure it does.
Going to aluminum heads.
Yeah.
It's not in the budget at this point in time.
Right.
But later on down the road, if we decided to want to go more, I think the aluminum head thing makes sense because it's inexpensive versus being able to do it for a Pontiac. I don't know that I would spend, all day porting the hell out of a set of cast iron heads when I can just go buy a set of really good aluminum heads.
I tell that to people every day that and there's still some people that want to stick with these cast iron heads, But nowadays, if you take a set of the old 202 heads to a machine shop and just get them fixed. I mean, just valve job them, fix the valves in them, put new valve seats in them, new set of springs and all that stuff. You will have $1,000 in those heads by the time you leave that machine shop. I guarantee you will.
I have a set of cast iron Mopar heads sitting in the back of my Passat wagon right now that I have $1,400.
That's what I'm saying.
Because we did exhaust seats, we did springs, we did keepers, we did all new valves, we did guides, we did all the things you need to do.
Right.
And a lot of places don't even mess with cast iron anymore.
They will not. Yeah.
Like Eric Weingardner, literally, he's flat out said, will not port cast iron heads. I won't do it. Not going to do it.
It's not worth it. And it's not worth it in the long run because you buy a set. You can buy a set of Ford heads in 185, 175 runners, 195 runners, 200 runners, 210 runners, 215 runners, 235 runners.
What do you want?
What do you want? Speed costs money. How fast you want to go, but you can buy those heads cheaper than you can find a good set of cast iron heads, because good means all it means is they're together.
Right.
And take them because they're
not visibly cracked.
They're not going to use anything that's on.
Correct.
They're not going to use those 3-piece valves. They're not going to use those springs.
Yep.
They're not going to use any of that. All you're getting is a bare set of heads, which you hope aren't cracked. And by the time you get done, you'll have $1,200.
Right.
$1,100, $1,200.
And that's why I did that on Pontiacs.
Which aren't as good as the $1,000 heads
that
you're going to pay money for.
Yep.
It's just not worth it nowadays.
I agree. Especially on this platform.
Yeah.
On other platforms, I can kind of make sense with it. On this, I don't see why I would ever do that. So, realistically speaking, that may be something we do down the road. Is do a 427 stroker kit on one of these things with aluminum heads and easily make 600 horsepower on pump gas. And the thing would be an absolute friggin' ride.
Sure.
Now, I'm also going to probably have to put a Tremec behind it because it's going to explode that Port C5 that's holding on for dear life. So that's another thing where you've got to be careful with that budget thing. And I'm really, and I'm not good at this, guys. I'm not good at paying attention to a budget. I was literally at PRI right before I came over here, and I mentioned the fact that I'm building something on a budget, and Rob literally laughed at me because he's built motors with me in the past, and he knows that I'm not good at this. Bob knows this, Terry knows this, everybody who knows me knows this. I'm not good at budgeting, but I'm trying. We're trying to do it on this one. So
we're doing good.
So far, we're doing
right
okay.
now. We're doing good. Yeah. If long as you pull that oil pan off.
Yes.
And the other thing I would do, since you're there, because it's cheap, is put a new oil pump in it, because oil pumps $35.
Right.
Put a new oil pump in it.
Not worth the risk.
It's not worth the risk. I mean, that's the heart. That's the heart of motors.
Literally.
Yeah, literally. So $35, put a new oil pump in it, and then you're done. You're golden, and you don't have to worry about it. Like I said, all the rest of that stuff, if you pull those caps off, furthest ones from the oil pump, because that's the ones who tell the tale, if they're still gray, I'd bolt them back on, torque them down,
Send it.
Put the oil pan back on.
Okay. So, if they're brass,
If
show
they
me.
are, if they are brass showing, that's a whole different thing. 'Cause I wouldn't just change the bearings. They're brass for a reason. Believe me, there are people. There are people who would just say, "Oh, it's just the bearings wore out." It's not the bearing that's wore out.
That's the
It's not the
symptom.
bearing that's wore out. That's a symptom.
Yeah, that's the sniffly nose
Yeah.
that you see.
The reason it's wore out, if that bearing is worn out, that means that crankshaft not perfectly around there anymore.
Yeah.
So, and that goes both ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it's you don't just change bearing.
Right.
You got to resize the rods.
Well, listen,
you
if we
gotta
can just
resize
slap
the
a set
crank.
of bearings in
yeah,
and
you
she's
don't
ready to
just
rock
set
and roll.
bearings in. So if that
Facebook rebuild.
is the case, then we'll have another meeting.
Fair. That's fair.
We'll have another meeting because
so
that will change.
Yeah.
That will change the dynamic of everything.
Yeah.
But hopefully, the way the motor looks, hopefully, it won't be that way because it's a late model motor. Because it had an automatic overdrive behind it. So
And it's a work van.
yeah, it lived its life like I could live its life cycle, which is true. It's nowhere in 2,300 RPM at its max, and 80 miles an hour going down the road. So it's only 144,000 miles, which isn't many miles for that kind of motor.
Yeah, for a modern roller motor.
For a modern roller motor, that's not that many miles. And like I said, roller takes care of a lot of head problems that you had a flat tappet camshaft. Because you got roller camshaft, there's less friction on everything.
Right.
Everything. So it's a lot less wear and tear on the motor in general. So
I was very happy to see that spider sitting in there.
Yeah.
When I pulled that intake off and I could see, oh, thank God. Okay. Because if it hadn't been a roller motor, then I'd just roll it out back and throw it in the recycling bin.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I think.
so leave the heads on.
Yeah, I'd leave the heads on. I wouldn't take them off.
There you go. Terry agrees with you guys.
Yeah.
I will say that this is very much not naturally how I would do things.
Yeah.
I see
it's
that
not
gunk on the intake on the coolant passages, and I'm like, oh God, I gotta.
But that's what that is. I mean, the reason it looked like that is those passages are blocked off. They don't go all the way through.
Yeah.
On that intake manifold, so they're blocked off there. That's on a got 302. Nah, I don't. But Chevrolets are basically the same way. See, the only thing that goes in here is if you're putting four corner water on an aftermarket intake like this, you'll run water from here to here, and there actually is a place on a Chevrolet head, just like a Ford head, that's open right here, but it's usually blocked off. There's not a hole there generally. Mm-hmm. That's the same way. Yeah, this is typical Chevrolet. It's blocked off.
Yeah.
Just like the Ford is blocked off. So what happens is that water just stops there. That's what it does.
Yeah.
That causes pressure in the back. So that's why it just sits there. So that's why it looks as grungy as it did.
Yeah.
Because it's been sitting there.
Are you concerned at all with the dirt and dust that I knocked down into the motor when I pulled the intake
No.
off? Pour some oil on it, let it go down
Exactly.
in the oil pan, and we'll be fine.
Yep.
Okay.
No, I wouldn't worry about that.
All right. So I'm going to listen to what you guys said. I'm going to listen to what Terry says. And I'm not going to pull the head gaskets. I'm going to leave this thing alone. I'm not going to touch anything as far as that goes. I will pull the other valve cover off, make sure that looks good. I'll pour some oil down the valley just to make sure I wash all that crap down into the oil pan. I'll pull the oil pan off. I'll check a couple of bearings. Would you do main and rod?
Yeah, main and rod.
Okay,
I'd
so we'll
pull
do main and rod.
Main and rod, farthest from the oil pump.
And then we got to switch out the oil pump. We got to switch out the oil pan. And then all the pieces and parts for the performance side of things are already here.
Right.
As long as we get the clean bill of health that this motor's okay.
If the other thing you got to look at, are we going to try to use the fuel pump that's in the tank? Is it what we're going to use?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to use that. Then we got to get a regulator and regulate that pressure
Correct.
down.
Correct.
So, good thing about those throttle body is they're not a lot of pressure anyway. It's
They
not,
didn't run 60 psi.
No.
Modern stuff
They
does.
ran like 15 pounds.
Right.
15 pounds over pressure. So yeah, that's pretty simple. Deal.
Versus if I was going from like a Coyote type thing or a 4.6,
Right.
where it had individual injection and it's
Yeah.
actual high pressure. fuel
Exactly.
prop.
Exactly. So that still need a regulator, but it takes a lot bigger pressure regulator
Yes.
to regulate down from 6. Well, those are almost 70 pounds, 70 pounds of pressure all the way down to 6.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of difference. Good thing about it is we'll get a bypass regulator. It's already got a return line on it.
Right.
So we'll
Just
hook
plumb it that way.
The return line, plumb it back up, and then you're done.
And just
You
return
don't-
off the regulator.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about it.
Right.
It's not like a Holly Blue pump, for example, is a 19-pound pump, which is basically the same amount of pressure that a throttle body, a
Right.
Ford throttle body, or even the OGM throttle bodies. That's what they ran. Is 15-pound pressure pumps. So it's not a big deal used like a Holly Blue pump regulator or the bypass version of that regulator to hook it up, and you two lines are done. Easy, simple deal.
There you go.
Simple deal.
But not buying Go Fast parts until we know that everything else is good,
Right.
which we will know as soon as I get this done.
Right. Doing that, we probably won't have to mess with the timing cover and all that stuff, because I'm sure it's got a fuel injected timing cover on it, so it doesn't have a place for a fuel pump on it anyway. So it's just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you be concerned about timing set on this thing?
If we had to take it off,
Because we got to do the,
For some-
got to pull it off to do the
well, if
camshaft anyway.
we have to, so doing it anyway, yeah, I'd probably just go ahead and replace it. Again, a
Maintenance
double roller chain for a 30, well, same chain for a 302, 351, $40. That's money well spent,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Again, same thing with oil pump.
Yeah.
Like, you're
Money-
there, just get it done.
Money well spent, yeah, because you're there anyway. It doesn't add a whole lot of money to the project at all. In fact, it prevents money from being spent that you don't
Later.
have to spend
Yeah.
later. So, like I said, yeah, since you're there, take it off, put it on. You know, look at it. It's the thing about see, a lot of your 302 HO motors had double roller chains in them, but these things don't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it
Didn't know that.
Yeah, so it's probably got the regular old style timing chain in it. So
So we can upgrade to a double.
even
roller
140,
later.
yeah, that's what we'll do. Well, difference in price between another one, brand new of those timing chains
Yeah.
and a double roller timing chain is $5.
Yeah. Right.
No,
No.
do a double roller every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, do a double roller every time.
Okay.
No, and that way, all the pieces that normally you get wear and tear on, which is the oil pump and the timing chain, we're replacing. And oil pumps, sometimes they'll last 340,000 miles, but any motor's been sitting up for any length of time. We don't know how long this has been
Yeah.
sitting up. The problem with it is, there's stuff that's sitting in there and it just sits in there.
Yeah.
I mean, now you can take it all apart. It's not worth
Sure.
the $35 just to take
Yeah.
it apart. I mean, just put it in there. Just put
I agree.
brand new in it.
I agree.
Be done.
I think that's probably something that a lot of people will kind of overlook on the whole, like, doing it cheap.
Yeah.
There's a difference between doing it cheap the right way and doing
Right.
it cheap.
Right.
Like, you're already there, just spend a little bit of money.
Right.
It's going to make it better in the long run. It's going to get rid of possible failure
Right.
issues.
Well, I understand these guys that are saying, you know, you need to yank the heads off. You need to put
I do
a
too.
valve job on. You do all that stuff, but that's not what this motor is all about.
Right.
We're trying to take a motor that you bought for $600
Yes.
and make it the heart of this car without spending a bunch of money on it. Now
Right.
later on, like we're talking about, you got to yank them, bank it apart, put a
Right.
stroke. I can say a stroker kit for $1,400.
I was kind of curious, like,
now we've got a 393 cubic inch or a 408 cubic inch Windsor motor. So
I am genuinely kind of curious how much it would really cost to do a Ford, like a stroker motored version of this.
a 408 stroker kit. I mean, which has got crankshaft rods, pistons, all your bearings, all that stuff. For one with a cast crank, which I don't know if I'd invest in one in the steel crank. One in a cast crank is about $1,899, and that's for 408 or 410 cubic inch, depending on what the bore says. And that's everything new, everything brand.
Right. Drop in, ready to rock and roll.
Yeah. And we know machinists. So.
Yeah. We know them
Sometimes
very
you
well.
like it. Sometimes you don't.
So
We love him all the time.
maybe I buy another 351 Windsor, and I build that one quietly in the background.
Either that or just find your block.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's all you
And
need
I'll
to do.
find another.
All you need to do is find a block, and,
And
then you can do that.
Right.
Yeah, and that's and you can have a bigger budget for that.
Yeah, but still, as horrible as this is to say, but still spend less than rebuilding my Pontiacs.
You will. There's absolutely 100% no doubt about it. And be glad that you don't have a Buick.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the BOP tax.
Yeah, it's a BOP
The nice thing is I'm going backwards. I'm going from like the most expensive stuff I could possibly build, Pontiac BOP stuff and Mopar stuff.
Right.
And I'm going backwards to
Right.
Chevy small block and Ford
Right.
small block stuff.
And believe it or not, I mean, a lot of people argue with me on this point, but they're wasting their time. You can build a Chevrolet small block and a Ford small block for almost the same price. Not a lot of difference
Yeah.
involved. You know, I know your Uncle Henry's got 37 small blocks and he can get one for free and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the building part.
Yeah.
Once you got the motors there, as far as buying a stroker kit, as far as buying a set of heads, same deal. Like I said a while ago with $1,000 heads. Chevrolet aluminum has $1,000.
Right,
Same price. Either way, same price. You make just as much horsepower with a 351 Windsor as you can a 350 Chevrolet. You make just as much horsepower as a 406 Chevrolet as you can a 410 Windsor. So and it's for the same amount of money. And I know LS is. I'm not going to.
We're not even gonna go there. Not even gonna go there. The LS conversations. That's for another day. Maybe some iced tea.
Yes, exactly.
All right. There was one other thing I wanted to ask you, and I can't remember what it was. It was vaguely important.
Oh, there was a guy the other day. I was looking at the comments. The guy said, "What would Terry recommend?" And he said Terry would recommend vent shades and curb feelers.
I did see that comment.
And it's funny that he recommended that because he bought the last set that I had. So maybe that's why he was thinking that I would recommend that. So, yeah.
Now I remember what it was. So we flowed the set of Jegs heads that we picked up from here.
Yes, sir.
It's the most recent video. I think it's the most recent video. Made, I think it was 444 CFM at 600 lift. And
240.
or 244. Too many numbers.
444 is bad.
Those are bad heads. Port's like, yeah.
Yeah.
244 CFM at 600
Right.
lift. And I think it made 237.5 at 500 lift. So roughly speaking, it's a 550 lift camshaft. So that averages out to 240 CFM, which makes 480 horsepower. I don't know of anybody who's ever taken a set of heads that are a budget head and thrown a $2,000 Billy Badass pork chop to them.
No.
What do you think we're going to get? What's your guess? What do you think we're going to get once we port those things, as far as CFM flow goes?
Once Porter, I would think that you could get. They flowed max lift. What was it at 700?
We floated at 700, made like 247.
So I would say somewhere around 315, 320.
Okay.
Yeah.
You think we're going to get a lot there?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Well, those heads, and I mean, they're still. I mean, it's a budget aluminum head,
right.
and so they're trying to make them. It's every man's head. I mean,
Right.
if you're gonna build a cheap motor, you want to put cast iron heads off, put those on. That's an every man's head.
Right.
It's small. It's a small runner. So doing the bulwark and stuff that's coming down. Once you open all that stuff up, and once you open the ports up, especially on the intake and the exhaust side, it wouldn't surprise me that you get 315. If it's 247 max now, that you get somewhere around, well, let's say 305 to 315, somewhere in there.
Okay. All right.
So
That means we've got a potential of 600 horsepower?
right, potentially 600 horsepower. But you're also changing the valve
Yes.
to a 208 valve from a 202 valve, so that helps in the upper RPM range.
Right.
Yeah, the camshaft, super secret camshaft, it's going to help all the way around and through the RPM range. So yeah, it wouldn't shock me. I mean, it wouldn't shock me that it would flow somewhere around 300. A really good ported out small block head might flow 350 CFM or more. So I mean, now you're up in the 700 horsepower range. So, but they start with a bigger head to start with.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So I already spent some more money before we were on camera. Pontiac stuff. So I've got rockers, I've got push rods,
Yes.
and I got to go to Bob's, drop that stuff off so we can get and a balancer.
And a balancer.
Do I have a balancer bolt? Probably need to sell me one of those just in case.
Right.
I'm going to run up to the warehouse, pick all that stuff up, and I got to run that up to Bob, and then that should be able to get our Pontiac 350 HO build done and ready to go on the dyno, which is a week or so away.
Is this the motor you're putting in the 68?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's cost me a boatload of money. Boatload of money.
It's only money, man.
Yeah. All I got to do is just make more of it.
This isn't on the $5,000 budget, boys.
No, no, this is not. I don't know that I want to do the math on what I have in these motors.
No.
I don't know that I want to. Like I said, I'm not good at budgeting. I'm not good at this. It's very anti-me.
I told my wife all this math stuff nowadays, because I do all the shopping, so I go to the store, and Kroger's. This is to you. Just tell me how much something is. Just tell me how much it is. I don't want buy two get three free.
Yeah, or how much I saved.
Yeah,
or...
I don't want to have to do math in my head when I'm buying something. And toilet paper, people, come on. 16. If it's got 12 rolls, and it's 12 rolls. It does.
Yeah, but 12 rolls equals 17 rolls.
No, it doesn't. It equals 48. How does that math even work? I don't know if I've ever seen 48 rolls of toilet paper. And I say, well, this will last me forever. No, it won't. It'll last me the same as this 12 does. Come on, man.
Marketing.
Yeah, it's
Packaging.
marketing.
Somebody made $1 off that.
Exactly.
I get it.
Just tell me how much it is each.
At the end of the year, we will have to add up my bills.
Yeah.
I don't know that I want to do that, but I do need to do that.
I got to invest in some paper.
Yeah, I'll bring you a ream. And let's start printing. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Just a little brainstorming session. Get his feedback on what the 351 project is so far. I am going to go back and I'm going to start tearing that thing down, and we're going to see exactly what we get. I'm going to leave the heads alone. I'll maybe clean up a little bit of the gunk that's on there. I'll run some oil through it just to make sure everything's happy.
Right.
I'll pull the oil pan, check the bearings, and then it's come back over here, buy Go Fast parts, take the rest of the way apart.
Right. Put a new chain on, put a new pump in.
Camshaft, rock and roll.
Yeah, camshaft, rock and roll. Yeah,
There you go.
It'll be good.
That's the plan. That's where we are. We'll see. Think positive thoughts for me. Thanks, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.
See ya.
Bye-bye. Wouldn't be a normal work week if I didn't at least visit the Jegs warehouse once for some parts. I brought my slips. Look at me. Look at me. I only do it every 5th or 6th time. There you go. May I have those parts, please?
Oh, you're right back.
Please and thank you. I'm real good at paperwork, so you gotta celebrate the wins when they come. See you guys next time. Take care. See ya. Push rods.
bolts I think I need. New harmonic balancer, rockers, rock and roll.
Future project sneak peek. Stay tuned.